Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. My dog is dead. Oh, there we are. The dog's back to life. Must have been meant for a kid to wail on with a hammer or something to make it go. So, where are we? It is Monday. Got a little green light action. It's about, I don't know, what does that say? 10:48. It is 16.6 degrees Celsius, 64% humidity. It is 9:28 Monday. Welcome to Monday, 61 degrees. The Horde. The Horde had a few members relocate. They're at my son's house now. If you look here, you can see the Ranger is where the F150 used to live, and we got no F150 here, right? She's left home. The little Moto4 Yamaha Champ is no longer here, and the green tank Baja Warrior is no longer here. So there's kind of a tiny little bit of space. I have to say, to some extent, I miss the F150 truck. Was a member of the Horde for about 4.5 years. Been a good truck for the 4.5 years I owned it. I had to replace a small section of brake line up by the master cylinder. It popped, which, you know, is really a thrill when the pedal goes almost to the floor and nothing happens. So I had to do that. I had a little trouble with the radiator supports. Remember, the radiator used to sag and hit the fan. So put that up on little rubber blocks, bungeed it all into place. Hopefully it behaves. And yeah, the guard cat. And I had to replace a front brake caliper. Other than that, she's been a really good truck. And now it's up to my son to take care of it. Actually, what it does is it gives me a certain amount of flexibility for when I'm out there in Pennsylvania, out in Adams County. Should my wife and I take the Corolla down, or if we take the, even if we take the Tacoma. The Tacoma is still new enough where I'm treating it more like a car than a truck, so it's a good thing that there's a real truck down there, the F150, and I have the Ranger here for when I need it, or if I really gotta beat up on something, I could always rent one, right? Though the F-150 was mine, it wasn't exactly free to keep in the fleet. Flea markets while I was down there. I have a friend of mine who collects horses. These, I don't know, could you guys see it? Yeah, she really likes these. So I picked up this guy. It's on a nice brass pole. Came with a fancy base. Guy wanted 25 for it. I gave him 15. You can see the base is broken on this horse. It's a boy, by the way. But so I gave her 50 cents on this one. So big 15.50 invested in friendship. Yeah, I have a tendency for, you know, I have friends out there, and if they have a unique obsession, like mine with the Hondas. I have a tendency to feed that fancy, so especially $15 is not much money, you know, for a friend. Alright, so what did I get at flea markets down there? He shows you the horses. These trailer tires, though if you look at them, there's not a lot of thread on them, especially the lower one. They were $8 for the pair. So I'm always after tires to keep these carts alive. I have a tendency to leave weight on them, and that destroys the tires. So there's that. This here is one of those atomic clocks. And you see that thing pulsing right there? The antenna. Come on, pulse. Well, it was pulsing before. I don't get very good reception down here. Probably if I move up to the upper garage, it'll be better. It's meant to live in the upper garage, so that's where it should be. Anyway, they wanted $4 for that. I gave him $3. He wanted $10 for this. It's a time clock, you know, the old-fashioned chook. You put your time card in there and push it down. Oops. This goes with the pony. It's a huge brass ball. Between the brass ball and the brass end piece there's probably, I don't know, $5 worth of brass. I doubt it's 10. I mean, what's brass go for? It's maybe a half a pound. Yeah, maybe $5 worth. So that's probably worth $1.25. It's worth more as a brass ball. All right, mask. I think I paid $3 for him. That was $1. Teletubbies. Wait until you see what we do to this poor Teletubby. I don't like Teletubbies at all. They kind of came into being toward the end of my kids watching cartoons and all as kids, but I always thought they were weird. So wait until you see what we do to this poor Teletubby. Robot LED eyes. He was $1. He was part of some other stuff my son needed. These are Ikea accent lamps. They're LED. Here. Plug one in for you and show it to you. I think I gave him, by the time I got done with it, was part of a package deal also. I think I gave him like $4 for him, $5. So that's on low. There you go. So it's high. So I got 3 of these. Once it was, I gave him like $20, and there were the 3 of these, and something for my son, and something else. So I don't know, probably $4 each I paid when you grind it out. We talked about that. This mouse was left over from a deal last week. It was the mouse, the Frost King, and I picked up, I'm always picking these up, a Dremels. It's a Craftsman, but it looks like a real Dremel. And I'm not sure why this book was in there, but this book looks old, especially printed in the United States and all. So that was in there, but I'm not quite sure why it was in there. And it has all the accessories in there, you know, things of cut off wheels and all that kind of stuff. And I think it was a $10 deal for all of that. Pliers. I think these were part of something my son wanted. Call them $1 each. This was from a quarter table, 10 and a 12. quarter table. I paid $5 for these. That might have been part of this deal, as a matter of fact, but there was something else that went with it. These were 25 cents each. A lot of times these stupid little things come in handy. This was, he wanted 7, I gave him 5. It's got parachute cord on it, which is always handy, but it's also kind of a one-handed knife situation. I'm gonna try not to stab myself as I'm putting it away. That would just be bad form. Kind of clips on. So it's a cheap knife, but helpful. And that was 50 cents. So yeah, that looks like all of it. What I do, kill a mouse. Come on, kill a mouse, buddy. We're away for the weekend, so she's a little bit clingy. This is an LED light. It's like less than 2 watts. So when I'm not in here, I have a tendency to just leave it on. 2 watts. At the end of the week, you're looking at 0.3 kilowatts. So it cost me somewhere, I don't know, like that's like 5 cents a week, which is like $2.50 a year if I never turn it off. And the idea is, because with the doors, no windows now, and I got them sealed up pretty good, so virtually no light comes in. And at night, it's just black in here. There's nothing. I mean, the little bit that comes through that window there, but that's it. So until I get over here to the light switch, right? I got a light switch here, and I have a light switch. Believe it or not, there's a door in there. I don't know, could you see a slight reflection? So obviously I'm not getting to the light switch near the door, and I'm not getting to this light switch all that quickly. I gotta maneuver my way completely through. So I have a tendency to bring these lights out with me, but you could see there's already 4 or 5 of them out here, and I bring them out and forget about them. So it's much easier if I just have this light on. It's a couple of watts. I could afford the couple of bucks a year. That's not going to kill me. I did get some suggestions about I should put in a LED motion light, and yeah, I have to do that. And as a matter of fact, I own the light. It's just a matter of getting my act together and getting it in here and getting it set up. So there we are. You guys are going to see a couple of other videos. There's quite a bit of stuff about to show up to insulate the upper garage, heat pump for the house, and some other stuff. So as that stuff gets here, I'll be showing it to you. And I also have the other projects going on. I got to take a bunch of the parts off that motor and get them on this thing, the air cleaner, or not this one. Well, I think the air cleaner actually has to go over there, but anyway, so you guys will see that kind of stuff happen. And I gotta get my shit set up for winter. I mean, excuse my language, but if I don't get my life together for winter, oh, it's this one. Yeah, this one needs the air cleaner set up and everything else. Yeah, I'm told these torque converters are very standard and they'll go on anything. My problem is the torque converter is hitting the frame, and to make it not hit the frame, I either have to move the engine outward, or I have to shim the torque converter, which moves the torque converter outward. Well, my problem is where the sprocket is on the torque converter, on the inside of this. I need that sprocket to move inward to match up to where the wheel goes. Or I gotta start, even without shimming it, I think I'm going to have some trouble. To not shim it, I think I'm going to have to cut the torque converter, and I might have to notch the frame. If I notch the frame, that means I'm going to have to reinforce it, especially the torque converter puts quite a bit of strain on that back wheel. But even with that, I think I'm going to, I don't know, could I zoom in on that spacer back there? Even with that, I think that spacer right there in the center of the screen, I think I'm going to have to shrink that, which will move the wheel, you know, toward the frame a little bit more, and then I'm going to have to replace the spacer on the other side. But I don't even have that much space there, so that's kind of why I've stalled on this project for a little while. I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm hoping for some divine intervention that helps me out. I can't even pivot the torque converter too much like this to kind of fake it, because there's not much space between that sprocket and the back of the pulley, the back of the torque converter pulley, and there isn't all that much space between that sprocket with the chain on it, so to speak, and the back of the torque converter frame. So I got to be careful that I'm not rubbing on one or the other. So anyway, that's the battle I'm fighting there. This is getting to be too long a video. My poor friend there, Flash, is probably already on his third sandwich. Same with William Stanton there. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up. And guys, please remember to get out there, and gals, please remember to get out there and enjoy all your days. Get out and have some fun. All right, folks, take care now. Bye.